Royalty, witchcraft and poltergeists await the most haunted crew at Owlpen Manor.
Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. This week I've brought you to a sheltered valley in Gloucestershire where it's said a monk, walled up and left to die, still roams this ancient building on a regular basis. With apparitions in abundance including Queen Margaret of Anjou and a mysterious grey lady, we just had to come and investigate Owlpen Manor.
The Owlpen estate has a recorded history of 1,000 years. The land and house was owned by the Owlpens from 1100 to 1462. Eventually it was handed over to the Daunt family through marriage and remained with them until Thomas Daunt VII died in 1803, childless. The house then remained half dilapidated and overrun with ivy. The manor was saved in 1867 and again it went through many changes. Its history connects it with a number of old families, talented artists, writers and famous visitors, including royalty. Something else that has given the manor notoriety is this ghostly picture taken last year by the owners.
There's been at least 1,200 years of occupation here on this site at Owlpen Manor. Originally the Saxons came here in the 9th century, a fellow called Oller, and it was called Oller's Pen. The Normans came here, and now with so many people living and dying on this site for over 1,200 years, the amount of energy, the amount of emotion, pain, terror, I'm pretty sure that a place like this has got to have more than its fair share of ghosts.
Three spectral images have been seen in this room: a grey lady, a tall, elegantly dressed woman, and Queen Margaret of Anjou.
There are various recorded sightings. Probably the most famous of all, Queen Margaret of Anjou, wife of Henry VI. She was one of those women, one of those famous women in British history. She stayed here the night before the Battle of Tewkesbury. This was probably the last night of happiness this woman had. The following day, she lost the Battle of Tewkesbury, and her son, the Prince of Wales, Edward, was slaughtered on the battlefield. And they believe that she returns here to haunt this place, the place where she was happy, probably for the last time.
My father definitely saw her, and he didn't believe in ghosts, and he was very reticent about talking about it, and it took me a couple of months for me to actually get it out of him that he had actually seen her. And then he described her to me very accurately.
The figure of a large hooded man has been seen throughout the building, but no more so than in this room. It's said it's the tortured soul of a monk who was walled up and starved to death during the Reformation.
In 1100, when this place was first built, there is a report of a man that became a Benedictine monk just before he died, here, in this building. So there is a possibility that that man dressed as a Benedictine could still haunt the place to this day.
I was lying in bed and actually thought there was someone behind me, so I turned around to have a look and saw a kind of a man in a red jacket thing, like a suit jacket, walking across the room towards the cupboard, which used to lead to a staircase which went down to a cellar. I didn't know who he was, but apparently it was a monk. But it's not like seeing an actual person, it's as if it's through frosted glass or in a mist or something.
The attic is supposed to be haunted by the 7th Thomas Daunt, a wizard and alchemist. Since his death, it's said he haunts this very spot. And a mischievous child has been seen as well as heard running up and down these stairs.
I'm interested in tonight. With quite a few stories, I'm hoping that something may happen. We'll have to wait and see.
I definitely believe that Owlpen Manor is haunted. There's definitely something here.
I think the way to cope with being on your own in the house is to talk to them.
So do you think anything's going to happen tonight?
At this moment in time, you're asking me that question, I'd say not an awful lot is going to happen tonight, but this being Most Haunted, we have had unexpected things happening in places that we wouldn't have expected to happen. For instance, East Kirkby.
Where do you think are the most sort of active places?
Well, I think the best places to start the vigils on are the back stairwell, where the little girl's been seen, the Queen's Chambers, where Margaret of Anjou has been seen quite regularly, apparently, and the attic rooms upstairs.
Now, what do you think about the photograph that was taken? It looks a little bit funny to me. It looks a bit
photograph,
suspicious.
yeah. I have to say, I think it's an unintended fake, where somebody obviously was in the house and they didn't realise it.
Surrounded by woodland and totally secluded, we all felt a little apprehensive. When night fell, everything looked so black. We'd spent the day in and around the manor and had felt uneasy. How would we feel during the night? Only time would tell. We needed the help of psychic medium Derek Akora to hopefully communicate with the supposed spirits that haunted this old house. With the crew complete, we were ready to begin our investigation at Owlpen Manor.
Now, just walking in here into this room, I pick up very strongly. Maybe she wants me to pick this up, bless her. She's certainly not against us, which is a plus, thank you. A very gracious soul, a lady who, she gives me the impression that not only is she active here, she walks around this home, and I feel there's a tinge with her, I feel, of sadness, and that sadness, I feel, was born out... Will you help me with this, Sam, please? Born out of, I feel, the only way I can word a tragedy, a feeling of tragedy that was bestowed upon her. I feel as if a heart, even though she's in the spirit body, a heart going out to a young male. And this young male means so much to her. And, you know, what is that again, Sam? It's like as if to say, how dare they? How dare they? And it's like... Just for a moment, I got a mental picture of this young boy being held and grabbed and taken away, and she's like this, you know, screaming for him and taken away, and she found out that he was, the only way I can put it, he was murdered. His life was taken from him.
Is Sam able to give us the name of the gracious lady you're talking about, or...
I hope so. At the moment, I keep on keeping it open just to see if I can get it. She is a very gracious lady. This lady, can I tell you, she likes nothing better than to dress and really look her best. And she, I'm not going to say coloration of her dress, because she has that many of them. She dresses in different colours.
Would you say she was a rich lady of means?
I think yes. I get this, like, I don't know, like a regal feeling to her.
Okay.
As if she was a good soul, not a bad soul.
Did she live here?
Yes.
She lived here?
I feel she did, yes. Yet, the son, the loss of her son, it's like he didn't lose his life here. He didn't lose his life in this home. There's a male who has lived here. I can't quite get his name. He moves about here. Sam, I know, will help me with this. A male, a man, and I want to go... Okay. That looks like 17... Between 17... I don't know what as to give this to me, just mentally. I feel as if I'm going 17, 5, 1.